and then we'll do it together.
Okay, so the way the positions work. If we're playing in the key of A, you're going to put either your pointer finger on A or your pinky on A. If you put your pinky on A and play that first position, it's called major. So this is A major pentatonic. Pinky on an A note. I go down and play that. If I want minor pentatonic, I put my pointer finger on the A, the 5th fret, and I play that same position that gives me a different set of notes, minor notes instead of major notes. That's major, that's A minor. Now the way it works is to go up the fretboard, that first position and the second position are always touching each other. So if I put my pointer finger on the 5th fret, the pinky ends up on 8. So I get A5, A5, 7-5, 7-5, 7-5, A5. The second position always starts right where that pinky is. So if my pinky's on 8, to play the second position, my pointer finger goes to 8, and I play that second position. So I'm going to get 10, 8, 10, 8, 9. Those two positions are always locked together. They're touching each other. They share that note. The top of this one is the bottom of that one. Cool?
Okay.
Okay.
So that's a B? Okay.
No, we're on A right now. We're still on A.
Oh, still on A. Okay.
When you do the positions, you're just playing the same notes, like this. Can you turn your guitar for a second? It's the same note. You know, it's the same note. It's the same note. In different positions, different places on the guitar. The 4th position, we're going to skip over the 3rd, and what you do is the highest note in the 2nd position, the 10th fret, we're going to skip that. We're going to skip 11, the one right above it, and bring your pointer finger around to the other side. So your pointer finger skips a fret and goes above where you were to the 12th fret, and you play what looks a lot like the first position, except instead of pinky pointer, ring pointer, ring pointer, we're going to do pinky pointer, pinky middle, and then ring pointer, and after that it changes again in pinky pointer, but really what we need is pinky pointer, pinky middle, ring pointer. That looks almost exactly like the first 4 strings of the first position. The only thing is you don't do the pointer finger up there, you do the middle finger. So this is pinky pointer, ring pointer. This is pinky pointer, pinky middle, ring pointer. Okay, so what we had was first, second, those are touching each other. They're connected by the 8th fret.
Yeah.
Then we skipped the 11th fret and brought the pointer finger around to 12. So we had 5 and 8, we had 8 and 10, then we had 12 and 15. We skipped that. We skipped that 11th fret. There was nothing there.
Skip the 11th fret and go right to 12?
Yeah, it's sort of separated. First and second are touching. That 4th position is separated. It's not touching the first and second at all.
What's the reason for that? Why skip?
Because there's a 3rd position in there. But just this is what we want.
I see. Okay.
What we want to use though is that 4th position. Now when you get to 4th position, you do the same thing. Skip above 15, skip the next note. Skip 16, bring your pointer finger around and start there. So you have pointer finger on 17 now. You're going to do 20, 17, 20, 17, and you play that first position again. So remember, you always get first and second touching each other. You skip to the 4th position, and you skip back to first and second. So no matter where you are, when you're in first and second, you can either go up to 4th, or you can go down to 4th. Because think of what happens again. It's first and second, skip to 4th, skip to first and second. So when you're in first and second, you can skip back down to 4th, and skip back down to first and second.
But you're skipping over a fret.
Yes, one fret
between first and second and 4th, and then 4th and first and second.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the key is wherever you are. If you're in 4th, you can skip down to first and second, or you can skip up to first and second. If you're in first and second, you can skip up to 4th, or you can skip down to 4th. So if this is my first and second, here's my first, here's my second. I skip up to 4th, then I have first and second again.
Or you could go back down to
I can go back down to 4th here, and I can skip to first and second again, and then when I go from there, I'm in first and second, right? So I skip down to 4th.
Does it necessarily have to be in that order? Do you have to?
Yes.
So do you have to do first and second? You can't go from like 4th to 2nd.
Oh no, you can jump wherever you want, but the way the notes are laid out on the fretboard is always first and second, then 4th, then skip to first and second again, skip to 4th. As you go, it's always first and second together, and 4th is on its own. Okay. So wherever you are, you have either first and second going up to 4th, or first and second going down to 4th, or you have 4th going up to first and second, or 4th going down. the first and second. It's always just first and second, fourth, first and second, fourth, first and second, fourth, or backwards. First and second, fourth, first and second, fourth. That's all you really need to get the entire fretboard, all the notes in the scale up and down.
Gotcha.
Now the way that you position it is always going to be, you take that first position and whatever key you're in, if it's minor, you're going to be putting your pointer finger on the key. If it's major, you're going to put your pinky on the key. So one of those will always work for any chord progression.
Okay.
When you have, it's a little, there's a reason for this, but right now just remember, whenever you have minor chords, you play the major pentatonic. So if you have like, if we start on a major chord, like you have a G chord and a B minor and a C and a D, if I have a minor chord in the progression, then I'm going to play the pinky, the major pentatonic. So G, B minor, C, D, then I'm starting on G.
So you're starting with your pointer.
My pinky.
Your pinky, which is, because you have the B minor in there?
Yes.
So anything with a minor in it, you start with a minor?
No, if you start with a major chord and you have a minor chord in there, then you put pinky. If you start with a minor chord, then you're going to put pointer. Okay? Like if I do A minor, G, F, and I start on a minor,
so if you start with a minor, you're going to go to
pointer finger on that starting chord.
Which
So
is-
there I start on A minor.
which is major.
No, if I start on minor, then I play the minor pentatonic.
Which is pinky.
Pointer. Cool. Now if I started there on A, and I did a major, and I played a minor chord in the middle, then I put my pinky there. So if I start on a major and play a minor chord in the progression, generally I'm going to put my pinky on the starting note, on the keynote. I'm going to play a major pentatonic if the chord progression starts on a major, contains a minor. So like if I do this A major, B minor, C sharp minor, and F sharp minor. And then I'm going to go here.
So it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be the opposite. So if there's a minor in that chord progression, it's going to be the opposite.
It's gonna be
So
major.
if it's going to be, you're going to start with a major. If it starts with a minor, then you're going
Then
to.
you do minor. Then you do pointer.
Then you do minor.
Then you do pointer, yeah.
Then you do pointer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's 1, 4, 5, like a blues, then you can do either. Can you give me a little of that 12 bar? Just for the video so you can hear it. So here's your 12 bar. Crank that up, man. Okay, that was major. I put my pinky on the A and I went up to second position. So I started here and went to second position and did a little bit of. Now I'll do it again. This time I'm going to put my pointer finger on the root because we're just doing 1, 4, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
You can have 1, 4, and 5. You can do either. Okay, so play that again. And I'm just going to change where I started the scale. Instead of putting my pinky on it, I'm going to put my pointer finger on the A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was minor. Try it again, I'm gonna do major. 2, 3, 4. That's major, here's minor again. And then major. That's the same position.
You definitely can hear the difference.
And here's minor. that cool? So that's basically how pentatonics work. Now what you got to do is learn how to turn them from these little into things that sound like. And there's a lot of little bend licks. There's things like sequences. There's
You can tell
you
me,
know,
yeah,
rolls.
maybe in a few weeks you can tell me about modes.
There's a million different ways, but there's basically 6 ways. I talk about like the motives, which are like you can move. This is a motive. This is a motive. It's the same motion on each of the strings, like a hammer on and a note on the next string. That's a motive, or this is a motive. You get the idea? So there's a lot of these little motives. There are bends. That makes.
Get very professional with the bends, but
Well,
maybe not.
that's.
I don't know.
There's a bunch of things you can do. So there's sequences. There are things we call pedal tones, where you repeat a note. So I was just doing that one note. Cool?
Cool.
So there's a lot of those techniques. You just got to start learning them one after another, really learn how to explore them and practice them so
Right.
you can do interesting sounds with them. And you have to learn to play them in rhythm, you know, so that when you're playing along with the beat, you're not just kind of going, you know. They have to be like in.
So should I do like major and minor backing tracks?
Yes. The
Okay.
best thing to do right now is to learn how to play your major and minor pentatonic scales, find the notes in the first, second, and fourth position, and just use some backing tracks to give you a whole bunch of different, you know, feels to play them over, so they're interesting to listen to.
Right.
And so you can get how that one little pentatonic scale can take on the flavor of the chord progression that you're playing over.
Yeah.
And it'll be a little boring just to practice the scales, but get used to where they are so you hear the right notes. The scales give you notes that are always right sounding, like harmonically, but they don't give you melodies that sound cool. For those, we need to do all those motives and bends and things. But right now, just practice getting them in the right positions with either your pinky or your pointer finger on the root note. It's always going to be one of those. So if you play one that doesn't sound right, switch over to your pointer. If you play your pinky, it doesn't sound right, switch over to your pointer finger, and you should be able to play the progression. If it tells you it's a minor progression, put your pointer finger on it. If it tells you it's a major progression, put your pinky on it and play the scale. That means play first position with your pinky on it, and then go to second and fourth position from there and try and find the notes. Cool? That's pretty much what there is to learning pentatonics. Now, the other really big thing, Chris is saying he's here, he's texting me.
Are you still recording?
Yep.
You're not.
So what we got to do is also talk about how you play those pentatonics over individual chords. So we got to finish this now because he's waiting out there. But